Let's start with another question, which is Bokco. Bokco is a manufacturing company. It has a small permanent workforce, but it is also reliant on temporary workers whom it hires on a 3-month contract whenever production requirements increases. All buying and all buying and all buying of material is responsibility. Let me read once again, sorry. Bokco is manufacturing company. It has a small permanent workforce. But it is also reliant on temporary workers whom it hires 3-month contracts whenever production requirements increases. It All buying of material is the responsibility of company's purchasing department, and the company's policy is to hold low levels of raw material in order to minimize inventory holding costs. Budgeting is done on spreadsheets. Detailed variance reports are produced each month for sales, material cost, labor cost. Departmental managers are then paid a monthly bonus depending on the performance of their department. Boko is operating on a fast changing environment, and its finance manager thinks the original standard cost are unrealistic. Okay, they are considering revising the budget by analyzing existing variances into a planning and operational element would help to improve performance. 1 month ago, Boko began production of a new product. The standard cost for one unit was drawn up to include a cost of $84 for labor based on 7 hours of labor at 12 per hour. Let me read this information once more. 1 month ago, Boko began production of a new product. The standard cost card for one unit was drawn up to include a cost of $84 for labor. Based on 7 hours of labor at 12 per hour, actual output of the product during the first month of production was 460 units, and the actual time taken to manufacture the product totaled 1860 hours at a total cost of 26,040. After being presented with some initial variance calculation, the production manager has realized that the standard time per unit of 7 hour was the time taken to produce the first unit, and the learning rate of 90% should have been anticipated for the first 1000 units. Okay. The production manager has consequently been criticized by other department managers who have said that he has no idea of all the problems this has caused. Boko uses cost plus pricing uh, cost plus pricing to set up selling price for its product. Once an initial cost card has been drawn up, prices are then reviewed on quarterly basis. All right. So let's read the first question. The first question is, which two of the following sentences about manipulation involved in revising budgets are true? The establishment of ex post budgets is very difficult. Managers whose performance is reported to be poor using such a budget are unlikely to accept them as performance measures because of the subjectivity in setting such budgets. The establishment of ex post budgets is very difficult. Managers whose performance is reported to be poor using such a budget are unlikely to accept them as performance measures because of the subjectivity in setting such budgets. frequent demand of frequent demand for budget revision may result in bias. Okay, frequent demand for budget revisions may result in bias. Frequent Frequent revisions. Yes, if we revise frequently, what is the objective? Maybe the manager might require some bonus, because if the target is achieved, the manager would be able to earn the bonus as well. So, yes, there are possibilities, because it's ultimately the managers who will decide the budget. So, Bokco is a manufacturing company and it has a small prominent workforce permanent workforce, sorry, but it is also reliant on a temporary worker whom it hires on a 3 months contract. Over here it's not written. Yeah, so budgeting is done on a spreadsheet and detailed variance reports are produced each month for sales, material cost, and labor. Departmental managers are paid a monthly bonus. Yes, to earn this bonus they can do such thing, they can manipulate. Then the operational variances do not give a fair reflection of the actual results achieved in the actual conditions that existed. I do not feel the operational variances do give that feel and do give that fair reflection. So this is not true. For a third statement is not correct. um Now let's read the fourth option. So the analysis does not help in standard setting learning process. Okay, this is incorrect. The analysis will help in standard setting learning processes. So fourth is also incorrect. Now we are left with first and second, and we have this option A over here. Let me when I just read. So for me, I said three option is incorrect. Okay, yeah. So the third option is incorrect. If I say third option is incorrect, right? Third statement is incorrect because the operational variances would give a true, fair reflection of the budgets and everything. So third statement is incorrect. Where is third option coming? Third option is coming in three, in B, C, and D. Okay, so B is C and D are incorrect ultimately because of third statement, and fourth statement is definitely not true. So what are left is 1 and 2. Only A option. Let me read the first and second once again. The establishment of exposed budget. The establishment of exposed budget is very difficult. Managers whose performance is reported to be poor using such a budget are unlikely to accept them as performance measures because of the subsequent subjectivity in setting such budgets. Okay, this can be true or this can be false as well. See, the establishment of exposed budget is very difficult. First of all, what is exposed budget? Budget, going back to the budget which was set earlier, okay, and studying the results, analyzing their results. So this would be very inconvenient. The reason why they can be inconvenient is because you need to analyze the past performance of the managers, and then on a retroactive basis you might assess uh, whether what are the measures which are supposed to be taken, due to which the past performance of such manager was poor. So it is kind of really subjective. and hence I think first statement and second statement are true. So I believe 1 and 2 are the correct statement and A is the option, because third I've already said it's incorrect, so I'm left with the only the first option. Yeah. So what is labor efficiency planning variance after taking account uh, of the learning effect? The learning index for 90% learning curve is okay. So B is given. Wow. So B is already given. And this is what? This is B. Okay. Now let me read the information which was there. After being presented with some initial variance calculations, the production manager has realized that the standard time per unit for 7 hours. So, what is my A? A is 7. So, I'll write over here A is equal to 7. My B has been given to me minus 1 minus 0.1520. This is my B. And let me read further. uh, 7 hour time was taken to produce the first unit, and the learning rate was 90% and should have anticipated for the first 1000 units. Should have anticipated for first 1000 units. So the actual output of the product using first month of production was 460. Okay, and the actual time taken was 1860. So what will be your X? Will it be 460 unit or will it be 1000 units? It will be 460 units. So because what is it asking us? What is the labor efficiency planning variance after taking account the effect of learning curve? So I would say that my X would be 460 rather than 1000. Alright, so let me just calculate it. See, if like during first month, the actual output during the first month was 460 unit and the actual time taken to manufacture total 1860 hours. So, as per the information given below, it is saying that the production manager has realized the standard time taken is this. So, what was the standard time to produce 460 unit? It will definitely be what? 460 multiplied by 7. Alright. So, these were the actual hours which would have been taken, and then I will have to consider the revised hours for actual production. Okay, and that I will subtract. See, what was my formula for labor efficiency planning variances? It is asking me to calculate the labor efficiency planning variances. So what is the formula of labor efficiency planning variance, which is the standard hour for actual production? I told you the actual production is what? It is the 460. So what were the standard hours? So for standard hours required for 460 unit was 460 into 7. Now revised actual production. What is the revised actual production? The revised actual production comes out to be now which I will calculate. Okay, which I will calculate right now. So the difference between them will have to be multiplied by the standard rate. That will be the variance actually, and I will have to multiply by the hourly rate or the standard rate which has been given to me. So let's start without wasting any time. As mentioned earlier, A is this. What is X? X, I told you, in this case will be X will be 460. So I have to find what? I have to find the hours, the revised time or the revised hours which have been taken now. So it will be y is equal to a, that is 7, into x 460 raised to the power 0.1520. So let me just calculate it with the help of a scientific calculator. Okay, so I've just got the value of this portion and now I'm multiplying it by 7, and it is 2.7565. So how much time did it take to produce um, 460 units? The actual time, this is the standard time which I had calculated. What was the actual time? The actual time needs to be calculated with the help of this, because there is a learning rate given, so the actual time was not given, and with the help of this learning curve method, I will calculate the actual time taken and then I will subtract it from the standard time. So the actual time would be 2.7565 into 460. This is 1268. Now what is the difference? The standard time was 460 into 7, okay, minus 1268, and the answer is, okay, so this is the time, but over here it is given in the case of in terms of dollar. So what is the wage rate? Okay, the labor hours, um, the labor is charged at the rate of 12 per hour. So whatever the difference I am getting, I will multiply that by 12. Let me just write it over here. So what I was getting is, this is my actual hour, which is 1268, and my budgeted hours, which was 460 into 7. So 460 into 7, what was I getting? 460 into 7, 3220, and I will subtract this. I would get the variance. I would get the variance 3220 minus 1268, and I would get the variance as 1952. Now these are the hours. I will multiply this by 12 and I will get 23424. Now this is what? Savings, and this will be favorable. Let's come into the fourth part. Now the fourth part is saying labor efficiency operational variance. Over here it was planning variance, and now it is asking us the operational variance. So what is the formula for operational variance? It is revised R for actual production. Revised R for actual production, we have just calculated the revised hours over here, and then how many hours? The actual hours been taken, the actual hour was given over here, time taken. So the actual hours which was taken to produce 460 units were 1860. Now you would say that we just calculated the actual hours over there as per the learning curve. See, let me read out this once again. Actual output of the product during the first month of the production was 460 unit, and the amount actual time taken to manufacture the product total 1860. So this is the actual time. Then what about the hours? That was also revised actual, that was not the revised actual, basically that was the time if 460 units were produced, would have been produced, um you know on the basis of 7 hours, on the basis of 7 hours. The budgeted hours, see, the budgeted hours were given. As per the budgeted hours, what could have been the actual actual hours? And this is where the learning curve came into the picture. This is what the planning is for. And we had, so in nutshell I would say that we had to calculate the planning variance, and the actual production was 460 units. Okay. And the standard set for the 460 units should have been 460 into 7, which is quite simple. Then what variance are we calculating? Something which was what, a standard set, and something which is planned later on, which is changed. So the planning variance would come into picture over there only, because after being presented with some initial variance calculation, the production manager has realized that the standard time per unit was 7 per unit. So there has been change in the plan from this to this, from 1860 to this information. Because of this information, we can see that there has been some change in the actual time to be taken. So what, after planning changes, what could have been your actual time for 460 unit? We have calculated that with the help of a learning curve. But if this planning would have not been changed, right, what was the actual hours? The actual hours for 460 unit was 1860. So when we will compare the revised hours and the actual, then only we will get what, the efficiency. So it is quite simple. We'll have to do it the same way. Again my x is 0, again my so we do not need to do anything. We just need to subtract 1268 minus 1860 and then multiply it by the wage rate. So after planning, the planning says this should have been the hours, and now but in the actually for 460 1860 had been taken. So is it adverse or favorable? It will be adverse. Let me just calculate. So the answer is 7104. Which one of the following statements about production managers' failure anticipate the learning effect is true? There will be no necessary extra labor costs. The selling price of the company's products would have been set too low. An adverse material price variance would have arisen, and the sales manager's bonus would have still be guaranteed in spite of the production manager's failure to anticipate the learning curve. I think D is not correct. See, which one of the statement about production manager's failure anticipator learning effect is true? So the sales manager's bonus would have still be guaranteed. Would it be still guaranteed? Because of the poor performance, why will it be guaranteed? Right? So the sales manager will be held responsible for the poorer sales of the product, which will probably be reflected in the adverse sales volume. And this means that they may lose their bonus through no fault of their own. Right? So D is incorrect. C is an adverse material price variance would have arisen. Yes, if we are not able to meet, if the production manager fails to anticipate the learning effect is true. See, over here also the similar kind of situation happened wherein the adverse material price had arisen, right? So 1860 was adverse material price which had risen. So C is correct. The selling price of the company's product would have been set too low. The selling price of the company's product would have been selling too low. This is not correct because Bokco is following what cost plus pricing policy, and for its products, the price for that product will have been set too high. So this means that sales volumes may well have been lower than they otherwise might have expected, leading to lost revenue for the company and maybe even failure of the new product. Okay, so I think C is the only option left now, because even in A also it is written there will be no unnecessary extra labor cost. I do not think so. I mean, you need to hire 3 months, you need to hire labor on 3 months contract from outside, so that would lead to extra cost. So that's it.